Hi, friends, and welcome to Knitting at the Boxerville Homestead. My name's Karyol. Today is March the 4th, 2024, and I am coming to you from the Pacific Northwest, just north of Seattle, Washington. Today, since for my British friends that always give a weather report, I am going to tell you that it is almost 2 in the afternoon here today, but probably by 10 o'clock this morning, we had all four seasons. It snowed like crazy from, well, it was snowing when I got up a little after 2, snowed like nuts till 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock. Then the wind came through, and we had this rain, and it's been beautifully sunny for, I don't know, since maybe 11 o'clock. I actually went for a pretty good long run today. I am not going to stand up because I still have my running gear, but I wanted to put, oops, I'm sorry, I just hit my microphone. I wanted to put a knit over it just so that I could um, look the part a little bit. I've been MIA for 3 months, and at the end, I'll give you a little bit of a life update as to why that's the case. You can find me on Instagram as Boxerville Homestead. I had to think a minute. See, it's been a while. Email boxervillehomestead@gmail.com, and Ravelry, it's Knitten Nurse, NITTENNURSE, just in the event that I can't. I'm really not, I don't have a lot of time to edit this. I'm going to probably just put it up. We'll see. I've never done that, but that's kind of the plan. And then maybe that way I'll actually get one up. Let's see. Today I have a couple of FOs, a couple of whips, and some plans in kind of a strange, I hope I brought it in. I didn't, but I wanted to show you guys the scale that I just got. And it's an Amazon scale. I absolutely love it. It's probably the best kitchen scale I've ever bought. And it was a great price. So I was going to show it to you because I not only use it in the kitchen, but I weigh my yarn on it as well, my fleece, whatever I'm working on. So let's get into what I'm wearing. It's actually an FO. This is the Felix cardigan by Amy Christophers. And I knit the second size, I think, pretty sure. And as usual, I went rogue, kind of done my own thing with it throughout. The yarn is Yarn Bee by Hobby Lobby in the Rustic Romantic, I think it's called, collection. And this is called Barnwood Fence. And it really does. It looks like, and I've said it before, but it looks like a barnwood fence that has lichen on it. And you guys, I have worn the snot out of this, and I haven't washed it yet. I should throw it in the wash to see how it does. I did soak it afterwards, but I never threw it in the washing machine, which it says you can. But it's wearing really great. It is I'm going to say, I know it has only a small amount of wool in it. Otherwise, it's acrylic. I knit this in, I believe, doesn't the pattern calls for a US 10? I know that I used down a size because of gauge. So I think I used a US 9. I have made, as you all know, if you are longtime viewers, welcome back. And if you're new, yes, I am always this scattered, sometimes worse. Might as well just, admit your strengths and your faults. and that's kind of one of each. Anyway, I saw the cardigan knit by Amber of a Lovely Yarn out of the same yarn. And she had is that Frank Ochre, whatever, it's the goldish mustardy color, which was really beautiful. And I actually, because I tend to really like pretty much everything she knits, and so I went right to Hobby Lobby, and they didn't have enough of that color, but I saw this color, and I wear a lot. I kind of have green skin anyway. My mother was French descent, and so she had that olivey colored skin, and so this is a color that I wear a lot. I like it. So it was an easy, not really a second choice now because I really like it. The buttons are kind of funny. And it's not the buttons that I got. And if you guys watched last fall when I bought buttons, and again, I'm not standing up because I have running gear on underneath, but they are all different buttons. And then the top is a metal that has a bunch of stones in it that are this pink and yellow. Now, it's not the buttons that I had originally purchased for this cardigan. I purchased, they're an all metal. What you doing, Sophie? They're an all metal silverish, silverish color, I guess they would be. And I had them in my hand. And for those of you that are new, if there's anybody, we rescue boxers. And we have, this is Sophia, and Chance is laying over to the side of me here. And they're both getting older. And boxers tend not to live a long time. I pray with everything I have that they, we get another 3-4 years out of them. Chance, we know, is going to be 9 in June. Sophia, we're not really sure. They're both rescues, but through his story, which I did a video on how they came to be to live at Boxerville. This is a really all around your hind end to get to your elbow, isn't it? I'm sorry about that. Anyway, I had the silver buttons in one hand and these in the other, and I couldn't really decide which ones I wanted to use. I was leaning towards the silver ones, and I called Chance over. I said, Chance, which ones, buddy? Which ones should I use? And he picked his foot up and hit these, the ones that I had in these, and the. So I thought, you know what? I will look back on this. I hit the microphone again. I will look back on this eventually, and I will look at the buttons, and although they don't look the greatest on it, they're kind of goofy looking actually, but I wear it at home. It doesn't matter, and it makes me smile. But I'll look at it and I'll remember that Chance chose the buttons for me, and that warms my heart. So that's how I chose the buttons. This whole cardigan, oh, the buttons came from Joann's. I had a coupon and they were like buy one, get one. So the whole cardigan, buttons included, was less than $25. Might not even have been that much. I'm not exactly sure now, but it wasn't very much. So I think for the price and the enjoyment, I think I only had to start this one over once, whereas the Felix pullover, my returning viewers that went through that pain and suffering with me, you know how long that took me and how many tries. I think I ripped that sucker out 5 or 6 times easily. So is anything, I think that's about all I want to say about that. I really like it. It's comfortable. I wear it outside. I've been digging in the garden a little bit on my days off when it's not snowing. Like right now, it's so beautiful. I wish I could turn it around. I had to shut the blind a little bit, but I wish you guys could see just how incredibly beautiful it is here. It's not very warm though. I think it's low 40s. It's perfect for a run. Okay, next thing that is a finished object is a hat. And the pattern I found on Knots of Love, which I believe was started for breast cancer patients maybe, or maybe it's cancer patients in general. Not really sure about that. But this pattern is by Christine Fabiani, and it can be found on the website Knots of Love, Knots, and she's the founder of the site. And this is called a chemo cap. And this will kind of go into as why I have been missing. And no, it's not me. So this is a very simple chemo cap that I knit out of Malabrigo Rios. And the color is Pearl 036. It's a gorgeous color, and it's actually, it's pretty well shiny. That's pretty well a color. It's lends maybe a little bit more towards a gray than the lavender it's showing, but it's pretty accurate. So I started this hat. I believe it calls for a US 8. I did the cable, well, this part. on a US 6, or maybe about 6 or 8 rows, and then I switched to the 8. I wanted a little bit more tight around there. I used a twisted German cast on. Is that what it's called? I think it is, for even more, a little bit of a stretch. And I knit it according to pattern then, from then on out. It looks small, but I've already tried it on her head, and even with hair still, it fit fine. Actually, it fits great, and it's going to fit her little noggin good. I don't know what else to tell you that I did on this one. It took 46 grams, so I still have this much left, which is actually 53 grams, so I think it was supposed to have been 100 grams, close enough. So I could knit actually another one. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. It's 100% merino. It's super soft. It is super wash, but it's just very gentle, and I think on a bald head, it's going to be soft and nice, and but not terribly warm for the spring here in Washington State. I think it's going to be good. And we live up in the northwest part of the state. We're actually not too far from Canada. I tell you. Anyway, it was a quick knit, even for me that I don't have a lot of knitting time right now. It was just maybe a couple of my evenings that I had off. Anyway, I highly recommend the pattern. It's free. I think in there it says you can make a donation if you're not doing it for a cancer patient. And anyway, that's the chemo cap. Okay, this next whip, I'm going to have to get my phone out so I can remember the name. These I had done before Christmas, but I've not podcast since December 5th, I think it was. This is the NR3 Double Toffler by Liv Strangeland. Probably didn't get any of that right. But it is I'm sure the majority of people saw that on when Inga was knitting them on Knitting Traditions. I've seen them on several other Two Pearls in a Pod, the Australian gals. Not Paige, the other one. Can't think of her name right now. She actually did a really great tutorial as far as putting them together. So it's these. And I'm going to try, I don't know if I'll do it, but I'm hoping I'm going to put a picture here of what John's looked like when they were first done, when they looked really nice and clean before he put them on his feet. Pretty sure I didn't. Oh, you know what? I did take a picture in here, you guys. I'm going to find the picture and show it to you, because then I won't have to worry about. Here we go. So, and that's my Instagram too, guys. So follow me, Boxerville Homestead. So that. He loves them. He wears them every day, and that's kind of, they're a little bit of a fit that they're in. That it's a lot of knitting. It's a lot more knitting than I thought it would be. But he also, as we have all know now, he has Fred Flintstone feet. So he wears a 12.5 double E. Huge feet. It's a commitment. It's almost a retirement project to knit him socks or slippers. But here they are. And like I said, he's wore the crap out of them. But he loves them. He said the only thing he would like different, I should have shaved them first, is he would like this to be a little bit higher on the back and around, but otherwise, I'm not kidding. And they mold to the feet. Great. I mean, he definitely has a right and a left now. They are, they're just, I think I'll knit myself a pair, maybe over the summer. I knit these out of fisherman's wool. Two different, I don't even know what I had in there. It's what I had in stash. And of course, they are felted. It took me, I think, 4 tries. Yeah, I think 4 washes to get them felted down. But I have a front loader. I'm looking for 2 reasons. I'm looking for a top loader that we can put out in the shop to wash John's work clothes in and to felt things in, because it does take a long time in a front loader for some reason. I used hot water. I tried it all. I used his work pants in there, towels, and they did, obviously eventually they did felt down, but lots of knitting, well, especially for something this big. Anyway, it was a fun knit. Did I put anything else on here? I don't think so. No. 2 things. One, I am going to jump up real quick and I'm going to get something to show you on a whip, because I'm going to go into the whips. One of the things is, I could show you really quickly here because it's going to be like 2 seconds to talk about. I literally have just cast these on. But these are just going to be a DK weight sock. I have a lot of this Knit Picks Stroll Tweed. This is in the Thirst Heather color. It's a pretty color, isn't it? These I'm asking suggestions for. Like I said, I literally have cast it on. 40 stitches. And I like, I think compared to a lot of people that I'm seeing at least, I like a pretty good cuff on mine of stretch. So I usually, I'll do like that much easily. And at first I was just going to do just knit vanilla, just because they fit in my dance clothes so nicely for work, still on these colder days. But I think this would really lend nicely to putting a pattern into it. This was going to be just my mindless knitting to have in my purse that I can take to work and work on my lunch breaks. So I don't want to have to follow a difficult pattern, but does anybody have any suggestions for DK weight? Just to throw a pattern into it. I've forgotten everything. I forgot John's socks and everything. Okay, you guys, I'm going to hit the pause button for a minute. Nope, and I'm back. Okay. So, anyways, if anyone has any suggestions for the DK weight socks, I would appreciate it. If you can put it in the comments, that would be great. And if there's new people and you made it this far, I'd love to know in the comments also where you're from. John and I both get a kick out of that. I've said it before. I'm so far behind in doing this now that I've got to get back going again, because I really enjoyed the interaction with friends I've made all over the world. Okay, next, John's socks. These are just a vanilla sock that I've knit socks for so many years. I know what to do, right? I cast on 72. I knit them on US 2.75 millimeters. With these, this is opal. These are opal. The toes and what will be the heels is going to be this Spud and Chloe that I hated when I knit another pair of socks out of, but I thought I could tolerate it for the toes and the heels, and it's actually, I don't think it's bad. Anyway, opal sock yarn, I can't remember the name of it, but I wanted to use all of it, and so I just knit until I was about out. These are actually twins, not even sisters, but twins. That doesn't happen very often with me. I do a big box toe on him because he has great big wide feet all the way to the end. And this is, I just marked where I'm going to cut in for, that actually is about the same color as the yarn, but I just marked where I'm going to cut in for the heel. So I'm going to do a true afterthought heel. I will do about 6 rounds before I even start decreases on his heel, because he has a really high instep. And hopefully these will be done then for the next time. I need a Kitchener, the toe shut on this one. I love the Kitchener. I don't know why. A lot of times I'll Kitchener stitch on to like around a cuff. Called something else then, isn't it? but I still have it in my head. Knit, purl, purl, knit, except for the setup. So anyway, these hopefully will be done next time. And then they can go in his sock drawer. Trying to see if I put anything else in there after Thought Hill comes on. Nope. 72 stitches, knit forever. Put a toe on it. I think that's about it. Did I do that? The DK weight socks, I don't know that I said. I'm knitting them on a US 3 and a 3.25 millimeter. Cast on 40. The arboreal sweater. I don't think you guys saw it when I finished the sleeves, because I don't. So this is the Arboreal by Jennifer Steingass. And did a little of the light. I knit this in Juniper Moon Farms Organic Merino in the colors Cinnamon and Ivory. I believe it is 113 and 116, I believe are the numbers. I love this pattern. I love knitting it. I've shown this many times, and the sleeves were done. I thought, I even tried it on. I did try it on for you guys that one day. I'm going to frog it. I'm going to frog it back to the color work on the body. It's on Try It On cables right now, so it's kind of goofy looking, but while it fits, I don't like anything and it's not even form fitted. It's just, it accentuates my bust way more than I want it to be accentuated. Something I've always been very conscious of, or self-conscious of, I guess I should say. And I don't care for that to be the first thing you see. So I'm going to frog it all the way back to the color work. And I'm going to see if I can't put bust darts in. I'm going to try. Or I'm going to make it bigger in through here. And then maybe I'll taper it in a little bit. I'm not really sure about that yet. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I didn't want to do it till I showed you guys that I'm going to frog all of that back up to the armpits. I think it's hurting my husband's feeling more than mine. I'm at the point now where I'm not going to wear it now till fall, so I just want to get it done. So I will probably sit down tonight, frog it out. The yarn, obviously, the wool's going to have to be soaked and re-steamed because it's going to be curly cues everywhere. And I think that is all that I have really to tell you guys. It's probably more all over the place than normal, and I apologize about that, but I just wanted to come on, say hello, let you guys know that I'm still alive. It's been busy. So if you don't want to hear about the life update, I appreciate you stopping by. If you made it this far, again, yeah, I am all over the place. It's just how I am. I normally would put some videos up and pictures and stuff, but just with some changes that have been made in our lives right where we are right now, I know I'm not going to have time to do that today. And like I said, I want to put something up and say hello to you guys, because so many of you reached out to see if I was okay. I appreciate that so much. My buddies, you guys know who you are, who have really kept in contact and have also had really big changes going on in their lives as well. We got this, you guys. Okay. So if you're leaving now, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Please, if you haven't, give us a subscribe, click the like button. Let me know where you're from. It really does help the channel. Oh, and I have the 500. I don't even know if we still have 500 viewers, because honestly, I've not checked. I've not even looked at that. And I have the stuff sitting over there. We'll do this next time. I know I said that last time, but let's do this next time when I maybe am a little bit more prepared. I'm going to try to do this every 2 weeks. So if you're leaving, thank you for stopping by. If you're staying, it's been 3 months, you guys, and December 5th, I think, was the last day I podcast. On December 8th, one of my very best friends was diagnosed um, with cancer. Doesn't matter where it is, it's not good. Um, we spent, she's a dear friend of mine that I worked with as a nurse, and we have done so much together, talk every day, visit back and forth, she lost her husband 10 years ago. He was just the greatest guy in the world. So I've known them a long time. I've known her husband actually almost my whole life. So anyways, diagnosed with cancer. And so she's alone. She's a little older than I am. Back and forth to Seattle with doctor's visits. Finally, she had surgery. We did that in Seattle. And it's not that terribly close to it. It's like 45 minutes from my house. She lives about 20 minutes even further. But I was driving her. She doesn't have anybody else. And I'm so thankful that I can be the one to help. She does have somebody else. She has another dear friend, but I'm the only one that'll drive to Seattle. I don't know. Some people think it's like driving to the moon, and it's crazy, but it's just driving. Anyway, so that took up most of December, along with the holidays. Our anniversary was the end of December. And then January was her surgery, and it was a huge surgery. Huge. And so now we are at the point where she's going to finally get her port in, start radiation and chemo, feeding tube in, because she's lost so much weight, and that's who I'm knitting hats for, is for my buddy. So that's what a huge amount of time has been taken up with, and I'm so thankful I was able to do it and be there with her and continue to be there with her to go through now, which is the radiation and chemo. The other thing is I took a different job. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but we've always gone to a naturopath. I've always worked in Western medicine. I've never really been, I have gone back when I've needed to see a specialist, but I've always seen a naturopath. My mother started us out that way, and it's just been a way, it's just more actually medicine, more like I believe in. So I went to my appointment with the naturopath that we've seen for several years, and I don't remember when this was, January, maybe. Yeah, it was right after the first of the year. And I walked out of there with a job. So that's been a huge change for me. I have never worked a clinic before. I've always worked in the hospital, last 20 years, emergency department. So this is a huge change for me. It is a different way of looking at, you're still looking at actually, obviously health, but it's different. It's like day and night different. So that has been a huge adjustment. It's also day shift. And I'm sure I've mentioned before, I am a late evening to overnight. I prefer that nights because it just fits my personality more. There aren't as many suits there, if that's, you know what I mean. The uppers, they're not there. You can do your work better without worrying about people coming in and out, and it just fits my personality. So now I'm on day shift, and that's been a huge adjustment for me. It's crazy to think that people, and it's not getting up early because I'm an early riser. It's like having to deal with people early in the day, I guess it is. And I love the doc that I work with. The staff is good. It is really a very cool integrated medicine place where we have full-time acupuncturists on staff, do PRP, PFP. We're going to be doing Botox and fillers. There's 2 NDs that work there, an MA. There's all sorts of infusions. It's just a holistic form of care instead of here's a pill, which is what I love. But it is a change. It was time for a change for me. I am going to be 60 in June. Not that I'm saying I'm old or anything, so that's not it. I am training for a half marathon for my 60th birthday. But I had a bad injury there working in the emergency department a few years ago. A patient kicked me in the chest, broke my back. I had surgery. And then I got COVID from a dying patient, ended up with long haul COVID, have had repercussions of that ever since, which is why my voice is funny at times, and I can hear it today. Or I breathe hard. It's my lung capacity is not what it used to be. So it was time for a change. And so that's the big portion of what's been going on. Otherwise, thankfully, Chance and Sophie are healthy. John and I are healthy. Our family is healthy. If you're the praying type, you can pray for my friend. Yeah, it's been a few months. I'm going to try to do this every 2 weeks. I don't know that I'm going to have a lot of knitting. I just don't have a lot of time. But I will check in. I appreciate all of you, I'm not kidding, that have checked in on me. And I'm out of stories for rescues. So I need some rescues. If you have a rescued, whatever, rat, guinea pig, cat, dog, horse, send me those stories. Send me some pictures to boxervillehomestead@gmail.com. I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else to tell you guys. I'm sure I will when I push the stop button, but I guess that's it. So with that, I will leave you with, if you're in the market for a new family member of the four-legged variety, or if they're a tripod, haven't had one yet, but I have friends that have, please consider adopting and not shopping, because the life you save may be your very best friend. I hope you are all well. It was so nice to sit and have a few minutes to chat with you, and I hope to see you soon. Take good care, friends.